Hi, I'm Megan Nielsen. I'm an Aussie sewing pattern designer and I make easy-to-use sewing patterns that work with your lifestyle. Today I want to share a quick trick with you for sewing mitered corners. I call these lazy mitered corners because they're the ones I do when I can't be bothered measuring, trimming, or making things harder than they need to be. I'll be showing you this on a new tie strap cami top I made using my Maori camisole and slip dress sewing pattern. This pattern has side slits, which I'm finishing using mitered corners. For this method, you'll want to decide how much you're turning your edges in. I'm turning mine in by 1.5 centimeters or 5/8 of an inch because that's a measurement I feel comfortable eyeballing. The first step is to finish all of your raw edges. I overlocked mine. Next, you need to take the corner you want to miter and fold the corner so that the two raw edges are aligned. You should be left with a 45-degree angle on your fabric. Now you'll simply fold down a small triangle at the end so that the raw edges remain aligned, and the distance from the raw edge to the fold is your hem allowance, which in my case is 1.5 centimeters or 5/8 of an inch. You can now sew next to the edge of the small folded triangle. This is your mitered corner. If you catch the triangle of seam allowance in your stitches, never fear. I actually usually do that on purpose to keep my seam allowances secured, and it removes the need for trimming them back. Now turn your hem the right way around and reshape your mitered corner. Okay, let's have a look at that again. Take the corner that you want to miter, fold it right sides together so the raw edges are aligned, then fold over the small triangle at the end to the width of your seam allowance. Then you're just going to sew next to the folded corner edge or directly on top of it if you're like me. Once you're finished, then you're going to turn your mitered corner to the right side, reshape it the best that you can. And remember, with this method, you don't even need to trim the seam allowance. You can just leave it in there like I have. I then like to top stitch 1.5 centimeters from the slit opening at the side seam, pivot, and sew down next to the slit 1.5 centimeters from the hem edge. Then turn and pivot at the mitered corner and sew 1.5 centimeters around the entire hem until I reach the next mitered corner. I then pivot again and sew up the side slit 1.5 centimeters from the slit edge, then along the top of the slit across the side seam, back down the side of the slit, and back around the hem once more. To finish, I pivot and sew up the remaining side slit and across the side seam to finish. It's that easy. Super quick mitered corners that require no measuring, no pinning, and absolutely no trimming. Happy sewing!